Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today we are having another YouTube Wednesday. So today I am just on YouTube. I usually do a live stream on Facebook and YouTube, but on Wednesdays I'm just over here on my YouTube channel for something exclusive over here for you guys. And so today we've been working on this little tall, skinny journal that we made from some business size envelopes. And so we covered them with some paper and, some decorative paper. We've made some pockets. We've added some flip-flop things to them for some additional space. We made this fun little fold out for a little bit more space. And I always love those kinds of things. How about you guys? Hi, Carol. Don't you just love little things that pop open or you can interact with them? I do anyway. So that's what we've been working on, and we're going to work on it a little bit more today. And I was getting kind of tired of just the base of the album and just all of this blue and white. And so I thought, it's time to start adding some color. And so one of the things I wanted to do is we've got so many of the side pockets that are from the actual envelopes that we can use, which is, fine and dandy. But it's like, I just feel like there should be some more paper here somewhere. And so what I wanted to do was to add some more paper in. Now, some of this, when I did the blue, I'm like, I need something over here. And I really didn't think that through when I found all these things that had, so much blue and white on them. And because the three papers that I originally found were these three. And I'm like, okay, well, now what am I going to do? Because I don't have that much paper. It was just kind of some leftover scraps that I had. Or not scraps, but, some pieces that I had. And so I thought, I don't have a ton of anything else that kind of coordinates. Then I went back and I found this and I thought, well, that's not too bad. But when I was doing these pages, then I thought, you know what? I think that notebook paper has those little blue lines and that would work. And so that was what we did. This one is more of a graph paper from a composition notebook. And this paper is a little bit nicer than what was on the other. And this one was from one of my happy planners, I think. Both of these they were different sheets that I had in some happy planners. And so it's a heavier weight paper than what just the notebook paper was. And these are like gray, but they're such a soft gray, I don't think anybody really is going to pay that much attention. So anyway, I found this piece, and this was out of a happy planner. And I'm like thinking, this paper is just a nice weight to use for something like that, right? It's meant to be written on, and, in the, it's just a nicer quality paper. We'll just leave it at that. Oh, I need another piece of it. Hang on one second. I'm reaching way behind me. So then I got it out and I'm like, well, I don't know, how's that going to work in with this? How are we going to do those colors? And I thought, well, it's kind of nice. I mean, I don't mind those colors with the rest of all this blue and white. It's kind of nice to bring a little bit of color in. Then I thought, no, it's kind of fall. I'm starting to feel like I want to do some fall colors. How about you guys? Do you feel like once it starts to be, a different season that you tend to want to kind of craft with colors or, create with things that are more in that season? I do anyway. So then I thought, well, what about something more fall-like? And I kept toying with the idea of using some yellows with these colors. I keep seeing some packs of paper, whether they're digital or actual paper, printed paper already, that are kind of these Mediterranean themes. And they're these pretty blue colors, maybe a little bit deeper than this, and then some yellows. Or one time I saw it with some oranges, which were, lemons or then oranges. And they were just beautiful, collections. And I thought, well, if I do yellow, I don't want to just be tied to that for the whole, time. So then when I got this, so I go over, I find these, and I think, well, this is kind of a nice yellow, and this is, it's not too in your face. It's kind of a softer yellow. And then I thought, well, what about an orange? And so then I found this one. I'm like, okay, I could live with those. And it's going to end up bringing a little color that I think, you know, as we go through and as I want to maybe add some other things to decorate, that wouldn't be bad. I could make that work kind of for a fall, I think. So yeah, if you guys are here, if you want to pop into the chat and say hello, I'd love to welcome you in. And if you have any questions or other comments, just jump right in here. We are all good to go, and we're all friends here, right? So I decided I would use these after all. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what I want to do with those. I'll quit telling you all my thought process. I don't know. I like to hear how other creators are thinking about how they're making their choices, though. What about you guys? Do you feel the same or no? This is what I decided I wanted to do. Since we've got all of these pockets in here, like, you know, each envelope has got its pocket there. And I thought, you know what? It would be kind of nice if we put something in there and can tuck it in here. Now, it's glued down here, so I don't have the entire, you know, section to put it in. But I thought, you know, I don't need to have an entire section. So, and I don't think I want to do it on this one. Let me see. Well, let's put it over here. We don't have anything over here yet. So I need to make sure I know how far that, you know, this is able to tuck inside there for a little bit. And it doesn't need to go in there very far. You know, maybe about 7.5 inches. That would be a nice thing, and I could kind of center that in there. Oh, Carol, great. Yeah, I kind of like that too. I like to hear how people have come up with what they wanted to do. Okay, so, you know, this is what we've got to decide here. You know, which part of this are we going to do? I don't really need if I'm only going to go 7.5 inches, you know, it's going to cut some out. And I don't really need the schedule or the checklist words, I don't think, up there. You know, I can easily come down here, and I'm thinking maybe just go ahead and measure my 7.5 inches from the bottom. Oh, although I see now it's got a black border, and I don't want that. So I'm going to cut that off. And of course, we'll need to cut the side off too. So let's do that on both these pages. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to include 2 of these pages in this envelope journal. That'll give us some writing space. So we've got that. And then we're going to flip this out here so we can cut it at 7.5 inches. And I'll get it over here. Now I'm going to flip it this way so I can cut it over here. So 7.5. Uh-oh, you know what this is going to do? This is going to give me, I'm just going to end up with a 3. That's okay. You know, if you need a different number over there, you know, you can certainly do that. And then we're going to cut off the little mushroom tab, guys. I think if we leave those on, it might just cause some problems. Now it's going to be tucked away. We'll make that side tucked away, but I don't think that we want those in there. Oh my goodness. Look, I cut them right there. They all separated. Boy, that was right on the edge of that, wasn't it? Okay, so we've got one ready. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this into my, you know, my bag, or I've got like one of those scrapbook plastic things, one of those iris cases that I've been throwing stuff in here. When I've been making a journal, I just kind of throw all my scraps and everything in so I can, you know, pull it out and everything is right there handy. Then I don't have to go hunting for it and wonder what in the world I did with it. Okay, so again, I'm going to cut the little black strip off the bottom. You know, I could have left that on, but it's not going to really go with anything else that I'm doing right now. So cut that off. Oh, I thought I messed that up, but no, I think we're good. And then trim the little hole punches off. You know, these are, if any of you have been following along and know what the Memory-Dex cards are, this is the same kind of punch that, you know, it's the same type of hole that are in Memory-Dex things, and it just allows it to, you know, go onto a you know, the little guides, just like you can pop it on and off on the rings of a ring bound planner, like a you know, like a what am I trying to say, Rolodex. The Rolodex cards were like that, right? Okay, so now we've got these two here, and we could, you know, we could do them either way. So what I want to do is I just want to tuck it in there a tiny bit and glue that down, and then I'm going to fold it. And I think I'll fold it, you know, like back and forth, so that it will you know, be another part. It'll fold out from this side. And I'm not even going, because it's paper, it's going to fold real easy, so I'm not even going to worry about that. Let me think about this. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and put a little bit of glue. I don't want it so gushy here, so I'm not going to put a whole lot, just a little bit. And then as I slide it in there, I'm going to pull my pocket way open, and I don't want to, and I'm going to tilt it up. I got to tilt it up because I don't want it smearing all over the part that we can see, right? And I think I can do it just like this. Get it kind of straight. And then just do that. And that'll help spread it around down there on the side that has the glue. So now I'm just going to fold this and make sure it's out of the way of the fold of our little journal. And just crease it with my fingers. And I don't need to make it, you know, a super tight fold. And then just fold it back this way. And I think I'll just cover it up like this. Now we've got this. This is Big Ideas. That's kind of cute. I kind of like that. And then we can fold it out. We've got more space to write. We still have our pocket. Let me make sure I didn't have any ooze out that's going to seal up my pocket. Nope, that looks good. So now we've got that in there. And we can see all of this still peeking out. I like that. So I'm kind of happy with that one. So I think I'll go back here and do the same thing. Except, let me think about this a second. I'm wondering, maybe what I'll do is I'll just put it right here and then put my glue under there. No, it worked okay the first time. I think I can do it. But yeah, that's going to be, you got to be really careful doing that though, so you don't get it on the, you know, the part you can still see sticking out. Of course, it's kind of covered, right? But I just don't want too much of it back there. I'll just line it up that way. That way I've got the most, you know, that I can have probably for writing on. And again, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it here and get it straight. That looks pretty good, and in fact it's kind of lined up with that strip of stars. And if you wanted to make sure somebody could see it was folded, you could do that, but I think it's going to be pretty obvious. So now we've got that one. I don't know, how do you like flips and flaps in your little journals? I like that. That's some of the parts that I really like, is, you know, just kind of opening things and finding more little goodies everywhere. So we've got that. I like that. Now, I thought I'd add another pocket right here on the front. And I have, oh my goodness, where's my little paper I laid out? Oh my goodness, if that thing has gone missing, I'm going to be so irritated at myself. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when I cut the and I'm like, oh, look, this just fits. And I thought, well, that's because when I cut the strips, some of them I had to cut, another section off, right? So I have just a perfect size right there, and I didn't even have to cut anything else out. That was already ready to go. So I'm going to make another little knot here. Yeah, aren't they fun? Just little fun doodads, pulling them in and out. Okay, so let me try to get this centered here. And the way I can see that it's centered is where it is over here on the outside. Because it's not sticking out very far. So let's go ahead and add a little ink to this. Now, I didn't ink that other page. The truth is, I didn't even think about it. But you don't have to, ink everything. Although a lot of times when we start inking something, or, in a book, then we're like, okay, now I've inked that, and I need to continue inking every single thing, right? Okay, so, all right. So I'm just going to glue that right there. And I kind of like the way that all of this is coming together. See, this is what was on the back side of that. That would have even been kind of, a pretty thing to coordinate. But I just didn't have that much of that paper. So we're just going to do the 3 sides. And, these little pockets that you're just gluing straight down, when they don't have any little glue tabs, they're pretty tight. So you're not going to be able to put a ton of stuff in them. If they have glue tabs, like where they come out and then you're gluing that, makes a big difference in how much space your pockets have. But we'll just go ahead and use it like that. Maybe I'll even bump it up a little bit. I squeeze it in like this. I just kind of push it. You can't really see. It doesn't really look any different, but it'll give just a tiny bit more room in that pocket. Now, I'm going to make, I thought it would be fun to make like a long, tall tag here. Like just a tall tag. So, let's see. Let me grab my ruler here. Again. When you're doing these things all from scratch, you've got to know how far you can, you've got to have your ruler handy, right? So that's about 8 inches. And we know this is going to be kind of tight. Looks like, oh, I guess on the safe side, I probably wouldn't do more than about 2 1/4, and that might be kind of wide. And I've got this fun punch that does it's just 2 inches. Okay, well, there we go. 2 inches is what I'm going to do so I can get that fun edge. Sometimes that's the way we decide how wide we're going to do something, right? Whatever we might have, whatever we're working with, our tool might make the decision for us. So 2 inches. I was thinking that punch was bigger than that. And then I want to do about 8 inches. Spread that back out there. I want a tall one. So we'll just make one of these to start with. And now I've got this one, and I can easily make a second one, right? So now I'm just gonna, and I gotta unlock it. Okay. So we just stick it in here like this. It's pretty tight. That could have been a little bit longer because that did take off a little bit at the top. It's probably almost 1/4 of an inch. I can stick that in there. Look at that. Oh, look how pretty that is. That is bright and cheery, right? Look at that. You know, I think, oh, I know. Let's do this. This one isn't going to be very tall. let's get our orange piece out. So we got 2 inches. And boy, you don't want it any tighter than that, any bigger than that for this punch. Because it was kind of a tight fit. So I'm going to do that. Then I think I'm going to measure right here. Like this. And I think I'll just cut that with my scissors. That's the easy way, right? So I'm getting all these other little scraps that I'm going to be able to use. And then let's do another orange one. And now, you know, the fun thing about these tags is we'll be able to, you know, put some other things on them. I'm not going to do that today. So let's just stagger those. I wish this could have been a little bit higher. And maybe let's just do it like this so they are staggered ever so slightly. That way they're kind of the same distance apart. Let's see how that looks. That's not too bad. And then to kind of bring some of that yellow back in, I think I'll make a tiny pocket out of that. Why not, right? Just a teensy little pocket. Oh, I didn't even think about this. How far down there is that going to go? Okay. Well, that's okay, because then we can, something else can stick up in there, right? Now, you know what? I bet I know what's going to happen if I try to use this blue ink on here, but let me make sure. Let me make sure I know. Oh, where'd my little blue... Oh, there it is. It got away from me over there. No, that's not bad at all. I was afraid, you know what? I was thinking it might look a little bit green, but you know the reason it doesn't is there's no color mixing that's going on. No mixing. Okay, that's kind of fun. Oh, that's the wrong one. I grabbed my brown one, you guys. That always sits here. That one that I keep for my vintage photo color. So just a little something around the edges. Just pop that on there. How do you like the yellow and the orange with this blue? Is it a color choice you would have made, or do you think we should have gone with something else? Tell me what you're thinking about that. I just needed some more color. And you know what? This is going to go nice because even though it doesn't matter, I mean, you could use this kind of for a more summery look if you wanted to. I mean, there's certainly these kind of bright colors. Or as, you know, as I continue to decorate it, you know, it might be, you know, more fall colors will start to appear. And they're usually a little bit more muted than this. But we're not going to do everything just, you know, step by step through here. I mean, all the decorating and everything, I don't think. I'm afraid people would get too bored with that. We'll need to move on to something else, probably. Although this is kind of fun. It's kind of fun to come back and work on the same thing each time. because we're doing kind of a different aspect of it each time. Playing with some ideas. We love playing with ideas, don't we? Now, I've got an idea for this too. So again, this is going to be one of these tight little pockets because there's not much that's going to, you know, fit down in here. But, you know, we can make our own we can make our own little tags to fit down in there, or something, you know, something fun to fit in there, because we're doing it ourselves. Right? Okay. Yeah, Carol, I kind of like it. It's, you know, I think it brightens it up. Okay, so we've got those. And, you know, we could stick some little pieces of ribbon or whatever we want to do. Some kind of fibers or something we can stick in those. And I like it. I kind of think that's fun. And then I've got this other punch. I'm not sure if you can still get these. And these are skinny little ones. And you can make the little top. It's got 2 different tops that you can use in that. It's all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, look, you can see my ceiling. You guys, that's a ceiling in my craft room. It is wild and crazy. It is wallpapered. It was like that when we moved in, and we just left it. It's kind of funny. It's got squares of all kinds of different patterns in it that are green and white. The lady, I think, when they built this house, I think she loved green, and there have been so many things of green all over this house. I mean, it pops up every once in a while, and it's kind of fun to see all the funny things. But I tell you, it's just kind of it's a green and white pattern, and I always think, oh, I just want to kind of get up there and color that stuff in. It's like some kind of a pattern, like you just want to do something with it, but that's kind of fun. So now with these, I could make little tags like this, and these, and you can find these kinds of you know, little punches, and I don't remember if Stampin' Up still has these, or if I got this on a clearance. I just don't remember. But anyway, it's got 3 different sizes that you can make. And I'll show you. And you know, this isn't the only excuse me, this isn't the only place that you can find little fun things like that. So one of them is 1 inch, and then one is 7/8, and then one is 3/4. So those are the sizes that'll fit in there. Let me see if we don't have something that we could go back to our other pattern and make those to pull some of that blue back in over the top of that. Let me see real quick. Well, I've got some plain blue, but I think it would be more fun. Oh, here's some of this like that. It's already a little strip. Let's see about that. I think I'll just cut that. These would need to be, well, I guess we can do them first. So I'm just gonna, you know, push it up in here. Oops, it's not, it's locked. The thing about these is that you can unlock them, or you can lock them down, and they don't take nearly as much room. So that is nice. Okay, so these don't have a hole in them, they just have a thing, and it's not real apparent on here. So I'll just snip that off. It almost looks like it was almost in half, and I'll put the other one in the other side. We'll get the other little design on the top, the other shape, maybe. What's going on? There we go. We could Just stick these in here. Yep, those are tight. Those might need to be cut off a little more. Wait, this one's really long. I don't think I want it quite that long. And then you know what, now let's go ahead and let's make one out of that blue, that solid blue. That might be a good idea to add in the solid blue at this point. Just a little strip of it. Bring that color back in. I can get my little box open here. And I don't have any scraps of that. This is why I always say, now, you know, keep your scraps, because if you're making something like this, or you're doing a junk journal, even card making, you know, you can always use scraps for some of the things that you're making, because you don't need big pieces sometimes. You just need small little pieces. Is this going to be, oh, this will be perfect. Look, let's cut off an inch over here. Or, yeah, it was an inch. I'm going to do a tiny bit less than an inch. Make sure it gets in there easily. I'd rather have it go in easy than have a hard time. Yeah, isn't that cool? And I know that there's some others. I think We Are Memory Keepers has some kind of a punch that is something similar to where you can get more than one shape for your, you know, your edge. I think it's very clever. Whoever, you know, came up with doing that, I think it's super clever. Let's just tuck this in between. Okay, so now we got 3 of those. So now all of a sudden we've got several of things, and you know, then you can just continue and decorate those, but I think that's kind of a fun little thing to do. So I think that's going to be it for today, you guys. But look, we added a tiny little pocket from a scrap down here, and then just, you know, started to add some color in, and you know, and then we've made these flip-flop pages out back here, you know, that fold out. I like that. And then, you know what though, hey, I didn't even think about this. We need to fold this back over here onto itself like this. That way we can get back here and write. Otherwise that was kind of hard. So we can keep it folded like this, but then if we want to, you know, open it up, there we have it. So let's do that to the other one as well, because see, you do this and it's just like, it's so stiff. You could just leave it like this. So I mean, that could be up to you. Maybe I'll leave that one. And then you've just got your notes and you could write on it. So either way, either one of those ways works to do that. And I think that that is, hi Christina, how are you? Oh, thanks Carol, I enjoy that. I'm looking at you, you always enjoy. I appreciate that. That's what I wanted to say. So yeah, so it's coming together. It's kind of a fun little thing. And you know, you have to be careful what you're putting in here, because we don't really have, you know, much of a spine in here. And so the more that we add stuff, the more it's going to poke out. But you know, I am not concerned about that, because all you have to do is just, you know, somebody told me that they even like just use the what am I saying? Hair bands, the elastic hair bands. And that's what she likes to use on some of her junk journals. Do I have a code? No, you don't need to use a code. You can just, I don't have a code for the month. Thank you for asking. But that's in the links. There on my link tree, you can find my Stampin' Up! Site. So I appreciate you asking. I don't know. I'll go over there and look too. It's probably not nice of me to show things that aren't available anymore. But you know, well, you can always watch for those things, because who knows? They might come up with another one. There might be a different one on there. I don't know. They might even still have it in clearance if that was where I got it. You just never know, right? Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I hope that you found an idea that you might want to try and use as well. So there we have it for today. I like that. I like the little things in here. Pockets on pockets on pockets. All right, you guys, take care. I will see you again. We'll work on some more on this one next Wednesday, and I'll be back. Bye-bye. Thank you.